am so excited about today's video that I could literally sleep. That's right, guys. I said sleep. Hey, everybody, it's Erica from America, your favorite flight attendant, and welcome to another Travel Tuesday where I react to a travel guru who gives their advice about something that has to do with travel, and then I add the flight attendant's perspective. And today I'm very excited because I am reacting to a video where an ergonomics expert was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal about how to sleep on a plane, and this video basically went viral. It's a little bit older video, but I don't know if you caught it a couple weeks ago. I did the first of a three-part series that I wanted to do about how to sleep like a flight attendant. In part one, I talked about your 24-hour sleep cycle and how you probably don't have insomnia. You probably have what I call staycation jet lag. And it's different than vacation jet lag in that you kind of give it to yourself without knowing that you're giving it to yourself. And with just a few simple tweaks, anytime throughout the day, you can actually fix your sleep really well. So that was a couple weeks ago. I will link that at the end of this video. So if you want to watch that one, you can. And then also in this Friday's video, I'm going to be talking to you about part two of the sleep thing, which is how to sleep anywhere, which flight attendants often do. I mean, I've slept in all kinds of places, especially as a traveler. I remember sleeping on a bench in Greece once, and I slept on a bench in Paris once, and I've slept in airports and shuttles and all kinds of places, trains. I've slept between these airplane seats on a ferry once. And, it's not that hard to fall asleep if you know the tips and tricks. But again, that's Friday's video. I won't be reacting to anybody in that video. I'll just be giving you the information that I know. But hopefully, I'm really hoping that we're going to learn something today. And just as a reminder, I am trying to kick off the new Q&A series with you guys. Any video that goes up on a Travel Tuesday until Wednesday at 6 p.m., any questions that you guys ask me in the comments on the most recent Travel Tuesday video, I will try to make a video by Thursday at 6 p.m. answering your questions. So if you do have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments below, whether it's about sleep or whether it's about anything else. It does not have to be about sleep. It could be about any of the videos I did. Just put it in the comments on this one so that way I can find them. Let's jump into this. I'm actually quite excited about this one. I love learning from passengers and pretty much anything to find out new information. And hopefully this will be new information. So basically, this is called Ergonomics Expert Explains How to Sleep on a Plane. WSJ Pro Perfected. I don't know why that says that. I'm guessing the WSJ is for Wall Street Pro Perfected. It's by the Wall Street Journal. They have 6.5 million subscribers. It was published March 29, 2023, and it's got 3.6 million views since then. So to start with, it says, over the past 30 years, airplane economy seat width has shrunk by 4 inches. But in the past year alone, airplane ticket prices have risen by around 25% in 2023. So how do you sleep more easily on flights? An expert ergonomist gives her tips on how to get comfortable in flight and shows the best positions for sleeping on a plane with a cheaper coach ticket. That's actually funny to me that it says that ticket prices have risen by around 25% because it's 2023. 2020 and 2021 were the COVID years. And ticket prices bottomed out in those 2 years, like so incredibly low that I knew one flight attendant who said she had a homeless guy on her plane flying from Chicago to New Orleans, and the ticket had cost him $50. That's how low the price dropped. And the homeless guy came on with his garbage bag full of whatever he was taking with him that got through security. And he said he was going down to New Orleans for the winter to stay warm. It was crazy how low the prices dropped. I know one passenger told me that they had flown first class from Miami to New York and they got the upgrade for $40, which was unheard of for a flight that long. So the ticket prices may have risen by around 25% in 2023, but that's considering how low the prices were before. Let's go ahead and watch this. Here we go.
Sleeping on a plane is
Yeah, been there.
hard, especially if you're in an economy seat. So we asked an expert for advice.
I'm an occupational therapist, industrial designer, and certified professional ergonomist. With seated sleep
Ergonomics.
posture, not only do you fall into these awkward postures, but you're also compressing the vertebrae and your spine at the different levels. You have to plan ahead.
Here's what a professional ergonomist recommends for sleeping in an economy plane seat. First, you might consider using the tray table. But
The position using the tray table, if you're propping up on your forearms, that awkward positioning, the contact pressure against the tray table, all of that's going to irritate tissue in sleep just like it would during your waking hours.
contact pressure happens when soft tissues are pressed against a hard surface for too long, slowing blood flow to your extremities and often causing numbness or tingling.
With soft tissue compression, you can compromise circulation. You can impinge nerves, which can lead to numbness or tingling, which will often wake people up.
In
Then
there.
there's your posture.
It's going to be difficult for you to maintain that posture very long because you
Okay, I will say this. If you have girls at all, that posture is not really possible. I've tried to do that before, but you can't do that for very long in economy if you're a bustier woman. I'm just saying. And had the tingles before she's talking about in the arms. I tend to get stuck in the middle a lot of times when I'm deadheading, and so then I have to fly like this because I'm always stuck between the two guys with the broad shoulders who think that because I'm in uniform, they have the right to take the armrest from me. If you ever sit next to a pilot or flight attendant in the middle seat, think of me and give them the armrest in the middle because it is so uncomfortably awkward to sleep like this the whole time. Just give them that because they're in misery too.
You will be experiencing excessive flexion at your hips and knees. Your spine will be rounded. You'll be putting pressure through your forearms.
The solve?
There are both inflatable and memory foam cushions available that start to at least address some of those risk factors, such as the contact pressure against the hard surface of the tray table, by providing a soft surface for your body to rest. They can hold your arms, and then it also cradles your head and neck and your face in a way that attempts to at least position your head and neck in some sort of a neutral posture.
But depending on your height and how far back the person in front of you reclines, the tray table might not be your best option.
I think it's probably going to serve you well just for sort of a short stretch for a nap. I don't think you'll be getting the highest quality of sleep in that position.
So, what about leaning back in your seat?
If you have to sleep in an economy class seat in a seated position, you are up against some challenges. Ideal state, your body would prefer to sleep in a fully supported lying down position. Your body already has to endure weight bearing and force through your spine, your hips, your pelvis, your lower extremities. When upright sleeping, ideally, it is great if you can steal a couple degrees of recline from your seat back just to put your body in a little bit more of a supported sleep position.
Just be mindful of your neighbors. You can also adjust your back position.
Putting just a gentle cushion behind the seat back to support the spine is beneficial. The more head and neck support you can provide, the better chance you have at achieving some restful sleep.
And here's where a travel pillow comes in handy.
A lot of these supports are not all created equal. There are the tried and true U-shaped neck pillows. You want to keep your head and neck as neutral as possible against the unfortunate barrier of gravity and upright positioning. A lot of the ones that I like wrap around the neck and have a support just so they don't shift during sleep. They can sort of provide full neck support. So not just forward flexion, but lateral flexion, even some extension. It can hold your head in like a comfortable yet supported position for sleep.
And if you don't have a pillow, as a last resort,
You can try to make do with layers of clothing. I think the thesis here is that if you are in a scenario where you have to sleep or you're flying during evening hours, you have to plan ahead.
besides pillows and posture, there are a few other helpful tips for sleeping on planes.
I was wondering if they were going to mention those. Those all pop forward like that.
You might think about limiting light exposure with an eye mask or having layers or a blanket for thermal comfort, noise canceling headphones just to limit some of the auditory stimulation on a plane.
When it comes to picking between the aisle, middle, and window seats, there isn't one best option for everyone.
It's going to be a bit subjective in terms of what people find most comfortable sleeping on an airplane.
If you need to use the bathroom or stretch frequently, the aisle might be your best option. But it also means you'll be woken up every time your seatmates need to get out as well.
I think if you can avoid the middle seat, that's probably the best advice.
And while the window seat can provide support, just make sure to add a pillow or piece of clothing as a cushion. Importantly, flyers should find a position that allows them to move around a bit while they sleep, like they normally would in bed.
The body is built to be dynamic, and your body needs those movement breaks in order to lubricate joints, to release muscle tension, to mitigate strain.
But for those people who still really can't snooze mid-flight,
It's always worth it to get an upgrade.
Well, that was nice and short, but they left out quite a bit that they could have said. Let me see if I can find a place. Okay, so for this one, th for that position, like, it is harder if you have a bigger chest. What I will do sometimes is I will just rest my head right here on the back of the seat, or if I have a jacket, I might make my own little pile, grab some stuff out of my bag, grab my bag even if it's small enough and put it on there and then lay on my bag. I do see some people with that ridiculous pillow, this pillow, and they bring it on and not many of them use it for the whole flight. I see it probably once every 5,000 passengers. If you take it, it might make you feel a little ridiculous because you might be the only person on the plane with that. But then it might also make you feel popular because then people will be like, oh, where'd you get that? Does it work? It's up to you if you want to bring that. Doing something as simple as using a backpack or using your bag or using your jacket to prop your head up on the tray table can help. But keep this in mind, those tray tables are not invincible. They can break, and when they break, they go down and to the side. And then if you break it, we're not going to make you pay for it, really, not unless you snitch on yourself that you did it. But we're going to figure out later that it's broken. And for the rest of the flight, you're not going to be able to set your drinks on that without it sliding into your lap. So I don't know if you want to do that. Plus the fact that I've seen people change their babies on those tables. You don't necessarily want to put your face on that, not until you've at least sanitized it. But like I said, that's the shape of a backpack. So you don't really need that. Okay, so this part right here. Do you see her feet? Now, imagine you have a bag under your seat right here in this section. A lot of times what you can do is you can drag that bag and put it right here under your legs on this side, and then you can stretch your legs out farther, which is what I do. Or if I travel with my cooler is wider but thinner, like about that thin. And a lot of times I'll turn that sideways so that I have space on one or both sides of the bag so I can slide my feet down farther. For taxi takeoff and landing, they won't let you put the bag here. It has to stay under the seat so then that way it doesn't fly up and hit you in an emergency landing. But during the flight, they don't care if you put it under your legs. A lot of people don't know this, but the best way to travel with those kind of pillows is to turn them completely around so that the opening is behind you. From what I understand, they were originally designed for that fat part not to be behind your head. So then that way, like if you tip your head this way or down, that you get chin support from it. So then that way your head is not flopping all over the place if you go for that kind. My favorite kind, again, is the stuffable travel pillow, which I've mentioned in other videos, because you can make it as thick or as thin as you want, and then you can attach around your neck to kind of get some leverage. She did do this kind. I have seen those kind before. Some people tend to like them. I don't know. I don't see them that often, so I don't think they're that popular. And it's not that I haven't seen them. It's just people don't always break them out. Again, you can use the side of these a lot of times to lean on. Using a jacket is a great way to prop up your neck. A small bag if you have one, a sweatshirt. That's why I always say try to bring an extra jacket or a workout jacket with you. In the videos that I did where I talked about how you could take 10 pieces and make like 50 outfits, I mentioned in that video all the different items, but I didn't mention a winter jacket. I didn't mention the winter jacket because it usually doesn't go into my bag. I usually stick it through one of the holes on the outside of my bag. It's like under the handle. Because I travel with the puffer jacket. And I think puffer jackets are ugly, but they're amazing for how small you can compact them and how warm they are all year long. Like I've worn them in the spring and the fall, and I've worn them in the coldest winter. So they also make great pillows. Make sure if you do go for that, look for something with a nice texture. Obviously, blindfolds, if you remember to bring it, those are great. I've also recommended sunglasses that wrap more around your face versus straight across. These ones are straight across because the light comes in from the window, which is at the side, instead of straight on. So if you don't have those, but you have sunglasses, try to get the sunglasses that go around more for your trip. Earplugs, obviously fantastic, but earbuds do the same job. Not just earbuds, but then those headsets that go completely around the ears are also great because it will not only help with muffling the noise and giving you like a brown noise where it's muted, but you can still feel the rumble of the plane, which can be very soothing when you try to sleep. But having something like this, especially for children, or having earbuds that go in your ear also help with pressure on taxi takeoff and landing. So it's great to put these on when you're going up and down so that your ears don't hurt all the time, especially with kids. I use my earbuds as earplugs. So it's not something extra that you need to buy, and they don't usually have them on the plane. But sometimes, depending if you're flying international or if you happen to be flying on a plane that still does have a TV in the back, you can ask the flight attendants for a set of earbuds because if they have the TVs, they usually have the earbuds with them as well. As far as what's the best seat, guys that are big usually go for the aisle seat because then they can stick their legs out in the aisle. And again, like I said, you guys are going to get sick of me saying this. If you're going to sit on the aisle, do yourself a favor and wear either white sneakers or some kind of shoes that is not a dark color, because if it's a dark color and it blends in with the carpet, not only are you likely to have the cart run over your foot, and those things are heavy. I did the math on those the other day, and I think the interior alone carries around 90 pounds of ice and liquid, not counting the alcohol. And then there's the cart itself, which is heavy, and you don't want that going over your foot. But in addition to that, a lot of guys will end up falling asleep and they'll push their feet out into the aisle, which is fine for taxi takeoff and landing. Nobody's going to say anything to you because the flight attendants are in their seat. But when you're asleep and you do that, and then people are going to the bathroom, they're going to trip over your feet. So actually having light colored shoes is going to give them a heads up so they're not tripping over your feet all the time. So again, a lot of guys do that, but you can just pull your backpack or whatever bag you have under your seat and put it under your legs if there's no room for it in the overhead bin. The other thing about the aisle seat too is if you go as far forward of the bathroom as you can, say the bulkhead, which is the row behind first class, and you're on the aisle, you are a lot less likely to have people tripping over your feet because they're all heading back towards the bathroom. They're not allowed to go forward in through first class. So let's say you're 3 or 4 rows back from first class, you're only going to have those first few rows in front of you going past you to get to the bathroom if you happen to decide you want to put your feet in the aisle. That's the best place you can do if you're going to do for the aisle. For the middle seat sucks no matter what. There's just nothing you can do about it. All you can do is cross your arms like this and then lay on the tray because if there's people next to you, then forget it. Finally, the window seat is my favorite. Part of the reason for that is because the fuselage of the plane is curved. And because it's curved, it's a little bit more room next to you in your seat. There's a little bit more of a gap between your armrest and the wall. So you have just a little extra room to lean over. You don't have anybody tripping over you or climbing over you. You can sleep longer. Here is the secret to that, especially if you have pain in the neck at all, which is my thing. I have kind of a loose spine, so whenever it shifts, I end up in pain quite often, especially on this side of my neck. And you'll know you have pain on whichever side of your neck, depending on if you can turn your head, and that hurts. If you're turning it, whichever direction you're turning your head that it hurts, then that's the side that you want to protect. So that's the side that you want closest to the wall. And part of that is because if, say, you were in this side of the plane, which is usually an A seat, and then you lean your head this way, this is going to stretch this muscle out and make it hurt more. In addition, if you're traveling with anybody and they're sitting next to you, you're going to turn your head to talk to them like this, and that's going to hurt more. So if the pain is on this side of the neck, you want to be on that side of the plane. We'll call it the F seat, which is usually the window seat on a 6-seater aisle. That way, when you lean your head against the wall, it's not going to pull. This side is usually stronger. And then when you're talking to somebody, you're going to be turning it that way and it won't be pulling on your neck. And so then if the pain is on this side, you want to be on the A side. Just trust me on that one. It'll feel a lot more comfortable as far as going to sleep. If you have that pain in the neck and you are in the aisle seat, then again, you want the people that you're with to be on that side of you if the pain is here, that side of you if the pain is here. You're going to be able to talk to them longer versus if the pain hurts here and you're turning to talk to them, you're not going to be able to talk to them for very long. And again, with the pillow part, jackets, bags, stuff like that, it's nice for when you're at the window because you can actually put that on the window and then you get something to lean into it. I like the stuffable neck pillow because I'll stuff it nice and fat and then get a decent little pillow. One of the nice things about the stuffable neck pillow too is that gate agents don't count stuffable pillows as carry-on luggage. They don't count neck pillows at all. So you can get a little bit more clothes into your carry-on with you by doing that. Good to have your backup clothes in there. That wasn't too bad, right? I already knew everything that she said. I was really hoping to learn something new, but I didn't really so much. But I will say go ahead and grab your remote, guys. I would link it to something from this channel, the Wall Street Journal, but everything that's on there right now is political. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link this video to my first sleep video that I posted about 2 weeks ago, and it's part 1 of a 3-part series. That video was about your 24-hour sleep cycle and how you don't necessarily have insomnia. You more likely have what I call staycation jet lag, how you're basically doing it to yourself and how easy it is to fix your sleep or your insomnia with just a few tricks throughout the day. The next video that I'm doing for Fun Friday is going to be basically a continuation of the sleep series where I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your environment so that you can sleep anywhere, whether you want to sleep in the airport or in a plane or in your hotel room or at home, how to make it so that you can fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, sleep better. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for that. If you guys like this video, let me know by hitting the like button. And then hopefully I will see you guys on Fun Friday or Flight Attendant Friday, where I teach you guys how to sleep anywhere. See you guys on Friday. Ciao.